Peter, what's Kelly's eye looking at today?
Looking up today, David. We're in Douglas, if that helps anybody, by the way. We're looking at 4 medallions or plaques set high up on a building. Each one is different. They're in a creamy coloured stone. First one has 2 men standing either side of a shield. Second one, a couple of lions either side of a shield. Third one, a couple of stags either side of a shield. And the fourth one, 2 mermen either side of a shield, and that shield's got 3 legs on it.
They're on a building right in the middle of Douglas Promenade, a prominent building, a building that's been in the news too.
Yes, a palace almost indeed. We're looking in fact at the Castlemona, or what is now the Castlemona Hotel.
A fine piece of work though, is it?
Oh, it is. It's obviously different from anything else on the island. To start with, because the stone is not indigenous, it's not quarried from nearby or Castletown limestone. It's brought all the way from Scotland, from small island of, well, reasonable size island, Isle of Arran up in Scotland, brought down in boats. They would come into Douglas Bay, roughly opposite the site at high tide, and throw the stone overboard.
Really?
Oh yes, so there was method in their madness, because as the tide went out, the boat would go out, and those stones would then just be lying on the shore. So down they go with horse and cart or sledge or whatever, and bring the stone up here onto what would in fact be a grass verge at one time. They'd be dressed into shape.
So they'd be dressed here, not brought over as blocks then?
Well, finalised dressing, I think, yes, they would be generally cut into blocks, but certain items would have to be finished on site for fitting. Notice the columns on the front of the buildings. They're a very good example of that type of architecture of the time, and you'll find that repeated in the Catholic Church in Castletown. You'll find it in Lawn House. It's just a style of fluted column. But the plaques, David, they're important because they are not real stone. They are artificial stone, and we're talking of artificial stone going back, in fact, to the latter part of the 18th century. They were manufactured by a lady called Mrs. Code, who had a factory down at Lambeth. The system itself of the Code factory was founded in 1769, and fortunately some of the order books exist, and there is a reference to the Isle of Man. It's dated 1799, and it merely says guard house, and that in fact was for the courthouse and a small prison that was on the end of the Red Pier. Of course it's long since gone, but I feel one of those plaques is actually held, or is one of the plaques held by the Manx Museum. Now other plaques, we have mentioned them before, is on the Ramsey Courthouse, where the 2 there's the royal cipher and the 3 legs, but they've been painted over. And in the churchyard at Braddon, there is on the obelisk, the Murray obelisk, another Code stone. In fact, Code and Seeley, that was her cousin who was in partnership with her for a little while, another plaque there, but all connected with George Stewart, because the order books also show that for Blair Athol Castle in Scotland, he ordered I think it was a horse's head which went over the stables. But this Code stone was used greatly in London, Bedford Square, and a lot of the eminent places at the time, and also a lot of the large country houses had Code stone used in the front, lions at the doorway and pillars, and I believe the Royal College, Naval College at Greenwich, the hospital, is also Code stone in the frieze within the tympanum of the arch.
They're about 30 feet or more above us, so they're not easy to see, but certainly they look to be in extremely good condition.
They're very good. I mean, think of artificial stone today, and particularly if it's got cement base or concrete base, they tend to lose colour or they pick up the lichen. Yet those, to my knowledge, they've not been properly cleaned at any time. They're in very good nick. The detail is fantastic, considering, well, they were obviously there if the building opened in the early 1800s. Certainly, it's nearly 200 years that they've been up there, and the detail is just fantastic and really does merit people coming and standing as we are here just in the car park, looking up. Bring your opera glasses, bring your binoculars, and have a good look. And of course you'll see the main crest of the Duke of Atholl. They all relate to the Atholls. That's this end one, which has the motto Firth, Fortune and Fill the Fetters, which is a little bit of Scottish words. Firth, i.e. go forth, fortune, make your fortune, and fill the fetters. And fetters is an old Scottish word for money chest.